What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, man? This is episode 120 of the Spot Network. And as you can see, we got myself, Ramond. We got DJ Zenus in the building. And my God, the Versace God, DG in the building, man. And we are the Spot Network, right? And this is episode 120 of Manifest Monday. And today we're going to tap in about something that I think probably everybody in America has some experience with, whether that be good or bad.
For sure.
But something that can really be a game changer if it's used right, and can really kind of mess up a lot in your life if you go about it the wrong way. You know what I mean? So today we wanted to tap in about credit cards, right? So let's dive straight into this thing. I think we're gonna have a lot of gems personally from each of us today. And if anybody's on here, if you have any gems to drop in, but let's start just from the beginning for you guys. How has your journey with credit cards changed over the time? Like, how has your perception changed and how you use them changed over the course of time?
All right. I'll start, man. I would say for me, at one point, I wasn't quite sure what really credit cards were in the sense that how to use them. And I was actually afraid of using credit cards because I felt like for some reason you have no control over it, right? I just felt when I was younger, because you never really get educated on how to build credit, how to use credit cards. So I was pretty much ignorant. So my first credit card, when I got it, I just felt like whenever, just because I have it, I just go and spend it, right? But I didn't realize that by using a credit card, not paying the balance off on time, there are always interests associated with that. So being ignorant with the overall just using credit card, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So by not knowing what I was doing, I was just putting myself in debt. And also, you're young, you're trying to flex, you're trying to buy things that you cannot really afford. You don't have the ability to delay gratification. So if you go to the mall, you see something shiny, like, man, I need it. It doesn't matter if you don't have that money in your account, but the fact that you have a credit card, it's just so easy. I can use that and pay it off next month. And by doing that, before you realize you're in a lot of debt. And at one point, bro, because I didn't really have, I should say, financial discipline, I used to be afraid to just walk around with my credit card, to just go to the mall, because I know once I'm there, I'm going to buy something. So I left it home. And I went the extreme route of actually getting rid of all my credit card, not calling the credit company to get rid of it. I just grabbed scissors and just ripped through every one of them.
What time was this? Was this college, after college? What
right
time
after college,
frame?
I would say like 2014, bro. 2014, 2015, right out of college.
Did you still have balances on them?
No, no.
Just cut them up like they can't.
They get hurt. No, actually, no. I made the payment, and I wasn't trying to get more in debt. So like, I don't need it no more. I'm just gonna get rid of it, right? Just cut it out, and never use them again. But then as time went by, I became educated by credit card. Like, credit card is not the problem. I'm the problem. I lack discipline. I lack, control. I'm being impulsive just because I have a credit card. Doesn't mean that whenever I'm at the store, I should buy something that I cannot afford. So over time, just with knowledge and just being a little bit older, I approach that different now, because you can actually use credit cards to leverage it, get points, and do other things that I didn't know before. So yeah, man, I would say over time now things have changed. I'm gonna get into that a little bit more as the episode continues, but that's kind of overall viewpoint with credit cards now. What about you guys?
What about you, Z? What was your journey with credit cards? Where did it start?
Kind of similar. Like, I mean, I feel like I've always been somewhat wise with my credit and like credit cards for the most part. But when I was younger, I definitely would do dumb shit. Like, for instance, I think I shared this story before. I don't know if I did, but I remember one time it was me, D'Angelo, and Austin, and we were in Denver. We were at the Cherry Creek Mall for for a break. This was like during like I can't remember if it was winter break or whatever break it was, but I think it was winter break. But we went into Burberry, and of course, you know, me trying to flex and being young and stuff like that. They, you know, Austin and D'Angelo, they were just, we only went into Burberry because I wanted to go in there. I was like, you know, oh, I love Burberry and whatnot. And so, you know, I'm over here trying to like be cool and whatnot. And so, you know, they're asking like, oh, like, do you need help finding something? Like, nah, I know exactly what I want. And then, you know, I just walked around the store, and then I didn't want to buy anything. You know, obviously being in college, you broke, you shouldn't be buying nothing.
Right.
But, you know, I ended up buying some cologne because I do like Burberry cologne. So I bought some cologne from Burberry. It was like, I think like $110 or something like that, which obviously in college, that was a lot of money, right? You know, so, but I was like, oh, you know, that ain't nothing. You know, like I put it on my credit card, and they were like, why'd you buy that? You know, I was just like, man, you can't go in Burberry and buy nothing. Like, like I can't ever go up in Burberry and buy nothing. You know, but it's just little. I remember that instance like it was yesterday, and I'm just like, what the hell was I thinking? Like, that's just dumb as hell. Like, so spending money just a lot more frivolously. You know, obviously when you're young, you just really don't know any better. But now I don't really honestly use my credit cards for a lot. I mean, I do. Honestly, I'll use a lot of like my credit cards for like travel. You know, you get travel points and whatnot. And then honestly, like a lot of 0% interest. Like that's what I use a lot of my credit cards for, just to like if I'm making a major purchase or something like that, I'll spread it out over like 6 months, 12 months, whatever it might be, so that I don't have to pay it all at once. Even if I have the money to pay it all at once, I'm like, all right, let me go ahead and take advantage of this 0% interest. But that's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of stories in between then the Burberry story and now, you know, right? But also I just have way too many credit cards. Not in a bad way, like I don't use them, but I do just have a lot of credit cards.
That's a fact. And I want to dive into that a little bit later. I think that we all probably can break down a different part of credit cards at some point. I know Z put me on a couple of things that I want him to touch on a little bit later. But just, I don't want to spend too much time on my background, but it's pretty much the same, man. I mean, I think we all go into it using credit cards the wrong way. And I think for me, it's just like everybody else. You almost act like it's your money.
Right.
Like you just got an extra paycheck. Like they sent you an extra random paycheck in the mail, and you could just run that thing up. You know what I mean? And on that note, like I said, I don't want to spend too much time with the journey for me specifically, because it's the same as that. But I want to just back it up to say, like, to break down how a credit card actually works. Because a lot of times people don't think about that, right? Like, what is a credit card? It's just some money. How do they give me $1,000, I got to pay $1,000 back. And that's not how it works at all, right? So just to back it up a little bit, we'll start with that. I'm going to start with how credit cards work. A credit card or a credit card company will give you a certain line of credit, whatever that amount is. And in the fine print, they're going to tell you how much the percent that you have to pay back yearly. And that's going to be broken down. That interest that you have to pay, the interest is what you have to pay back, is going to be broken down on what they charge you monthly onto that card. So, right. So, you know, and a lot of times these credit cards, they can be anywhere from 25 to 30% interest, which means if you have $1,000 and you didn't pay it off all year, that interest would be $300 at the end of the year. Right. So you just think that you're paying back $1,000. I used $1,000. I'm paying back $1,000. That's not how it works. So just the basic things is just knowing that there's going to be interest on these credit cards that are accruing over time. So you're pretty much spending money that you're going to have to pay more money back to, right? So I think that's just a good place to start on how a credit card actually works. But what I want to hit on a little bit, and I want Z to kind of kick us off with this. Somebody's like, okay, if $1,000, why would I have to pay $1,300 back? That's You know what I mean? That doesn't make sense. Why would I do that, right? So let's kick off the other side, Z. I know you was talking about it a little bit. Let's talk about some of the perks of credit cards. Why would somebody get a credit card?
Yeah, so I mean, it's all about responsible lending, like right, and spending. I guess you should say. So I mean, as far as the perks of credit cards, it depends. Like I think all credit cards have different types of perks, whether that be travel perks, whether that be shopping perks.
Right.
You know, like if you frequently shop at like Target, you know, right, like the more and more that you shop there, you're going to get more and more incentives, rewards, and whatnot. You know, so all different types of places offer different types of perks. I mean, you know, you might get like a free rental car or something like that. You know, like obviously, like if you accumulate so many points and whatnot. So honestly, like credit cards can be very beneficial if you use them well, right? You know, like honestly, using your credit cards frequently isn't necessarily a bad thing if you're paying them off immediately, right? You know, like the thing about it is if you have, let's say you're making a $400 purchase, even if you have the $400 to make that purchase, if you know like, oh, like with this $400, you know, I'm going to get 400 points. You know, I only need 200 more points to get to this, like, you know, silver status or gold status, whatever the case may be, you know, where you obviously like earn even more perks and whatnot. You know, each credit card has different like tiers and whatnot, just as far as like what type of member you are. But you know, the more frequently that you use them, but if you're paying them off immediately, like that's the best way to go about it, you know, right? Because you're not paying any interest, right? You know, if you're making all those purchases and then paying it off before your statement goes out the following month, then you don't pay any interest, right? You know, and if you are charged interest, because it's actually happened to me before, that's something that I always recommend. If you ever pay off the balance before your due date and you're still charged interest, call the credit card company and dispute that, because you shouldn't be charged interest. It's actually happened to me a couple of times with different credit cards, and I always call and dispute it. I'm like, hell no, I made my payment, and they always obviously end up either crediting it back, or sometimes like they'll even give you like extra incentives, like that's our apologies or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I mean, there's so many different types of ways that you can utilize credit cards, even in just your day-to-day, like, you know, I mean, you have your major credit cards like the Visas, the, you know, American Express, Discover, you know, so on and so forth. And each credit card company has different types of cards. You want to be mindful of like how you spend money too, because how you spend money is probably the type of credit card you should get. If you're somebody who like flies a lot for work, you should probably get a travel card, you know, right? Because like that, you're just going to earn a lot of points and rewards for that, you know. If you're going to be renting a lot of cars, you know, so on and so forth, you know, those are the types of things that you want to do. If you're a frequent shopper of like a particular place, like let's say you shop at like Neiman Marcus a lot, you know, you might want to look into like maybe potentially opening a Neiman Marcus card, you know, just because you can obviously like rack up points and rewards that way. So I think it's always about being mindful of how you shop, but also like how you manage your finances and just making sure that you're paying off those balances in an adequate time, so that you're not paying all this interest, potentially not paying any interest if you're paying it off immediately.
Right. That's a good, but I think my approach over the year has changed, because now when I think about credit cards, if I don't have the money to pay it off, I tend not to use my credit card unless it's an emergency situation.
Yeah.
And also, Z mentioned department's credit cards too. For me, lately, my approach have changed, because before I used to own a Best Buy card, I used to own Macy cards, but I realized that, like, okay, these cards are just store specific, and I didn't like that. I couldn't use it anywhere else. So I just now, like, I don't have any department cards. However, I have total of like, I'm trying to catch up to Z. I got a total of 10 credit cards now.
Okay.
I'm not trying to catch up to Z.
I think last time we
talked, you had like 3 or 4.
Right? Yeah.
That was 4. Yeah, but now like the goal, because my goal with that is my goal is to have 500K just in credit utilization, credit limit, right?
Yeah.
And that was my goal. So now across all my credit cards, because I was able to call them, they increased my credit limit. Like my total limit right now is 265K.
Fire.
That's fire.
You know? So that was my goal, you know. So now it's like, and funny thing is, I just got the SoFi card too today. You know, so that's like the 10th one. And for now, I'm like, because anything more than that, I can't control it. So now, like, that's all I need. And I want to, I don't even use it like that because, like I was saying, I want to put myself in a position that if a business opportunity presents itself, if I don't have cash, if, like, let's say someone really have a great idea that I don't have all the cash necessary to maybe buy that business or do something, I want to be in that position, leverage to use that. Even though I don't do it, but that's where I'm trying to be. So, and that's the reason for me getting more credit cards. And lately, bro, like just delaying gratification, I think that's the most important thing. Just because you have it, it doesn't mean you have to go and buy things that you don't need. I think credit cards, to me, like Z was saying earlier too, you should use it in a way that's going to benefit you. Because like with points, so if you use your credit cards and earn points, now you can use that points and get cash back. Because I remember that on one of my card, I claimed a cash back. It was like $200. I went right into my account, and not just using my credit card and getting like additional $200 to do whatever I want to do. Just using it the responsible way. And before, those are the things I didn't know, man. Just having that impulse, oh, now I have it, I got to go buy it. But now you don't think that way. To build wealth, for me, I'm not using credit card to build wealth, but I'm just saying you have to cut down your spending for sure. Because those interests add up, bro. Because I remember a long time ago, I was paying interest on my car. I was like, but I'm paying $100 every month, but why I'm not seeing my debt going down? But when I look at my statement, $50 were going towards the interest payment, and $50 were actually going towards the principal amount. I was like, this is freaking insane. It's gonna take me like 8-9 months to pay the shit off if I'm keep paying it this way.
Paying
So
a minimum.
I hustle. I just got a lump sum payment and just pay that shit off. Because at the end of the day, man, interest is so hard. Because at the end of the day, they are not charging you like 6%. You're talking about 30% here.
Yeah. Right.
At the end of the day, you somebody who's struggling, living paycheck to paycheck. How are you going to get out of debt when we have this thing that is just like draining you and taking all your money away? So that's something that I have learned over the years. Like, credit card is not bad, but you as a user has to be responsible.
Yeah.
Only use it if you're buying things that you can pay it off. If you can't pay it off, then only use that credit card just for emergency purchase only.
I want to get back into some of the perks here in a second, but DG, while you're on that point, can I hit what's some of the negatives? But like what are some of the other negatives about credit, right? So we talked about some of the perks. We're gonna dive into that back into that a little bit later. But what's some of the negatives, man? What's some of the negatives about credit cards?
I would say putting yourself in debt, bro. Because at the end of the day, if you're not responsible about credit card, you can put yourself in debt, and then also affecting your credit, right? Because at the end of the day, let's see if you have a credit card, if your utilization, because on average you should be below 4% utilization. So once you start, let's say if your balance, you have $1,000 credit limit, and now you spend $800, you only have $200 left. So that puts your utilization way higher. And all those things affect your credit score, right? And also, too, the more credit card you apply for, it can also affect your credit score. Because I know over the time, like right now, my credit score has dropped than before. Because like I said, I've been applying for a lot recently, and just putting yourself in debt. Because at the end of the day, if you're not paying it off, you're going to put yourself in debt, and those things are going to affect your credit. And down the road, let's say if you want to buy a house, you want to do all these bigger purchases, and then you have a huge balance, or you have a delinquent account that you never paid off, all those things can hurt your credit and makes lender not give you money, not borrow you money. Because at the end of the day, think about it, your credit card is like your report card financially, right? Those are the metrics that institution banks look at before they give you money, because they don't know who you are. They don't know what your spending habits. So based on your credit score, those are the things that they look at and make decision. Is this person worthy of lending, right? What are their credit score? Especially here in the US. Other places like in Africa, they don't really look at credit cards. They don't really look at credit scores. And then which is good and bad, right? Because at the end of the day, if you're buying anything, you have cash to afford it. Here in the States, we can just go to the mall. If I'm feeling jiggy today, I'll go with Z. If I see a Versace necklace that I like, I can spend 10 G's, right? And not have that money and put myself in debt. But back home, not really. You can't do that. You need to have money. So it's like pros and cons, right? I think it's easy. The pros, some of the cons is like just the fact that it's easy. You don't even think about it, and it just makes you make some impulse purchase because it's not your own money, right? Sometimes we actually have that cash to pay for something. You're like, oh damn, I'm about to spend this much money. But when you use credit card, you're not thinking about it. Oh, it's my own money. So like that bias of not knowing can sometimes be detrimental to just put you more in debt. So those are some of the cons, man, that I would say with credit cards.
Ours, brother. And I mean, like you said, it just feels like it's your own money. Like you feel like it's an extra sense of like, I got it. And a lot of times what ends up happening is, you know, we always talk about how people spend money. A lot of times if somebody gets paid $2,000 a month or something like that, they'll actually spend $2,500 a month.
Right.
500 is coming from credit cards though. So they feel like, you know what I mean, they're only spending what they have, but they're spending more than what they have. And that 500 they end up paying interest on, you know what I mean? And that just kind of keeps building. You know what I mean? So that's definitely one of the biggest cons. On top of that, there's late fees, right? You don't pay your credit card thing, there's late fees, right? And like you said, the late fees, and if it goes late enough, they could do a charge off and send it to collections, and that really hits your credit, right? So it's really directly tied to your credit. So that's can be good or bad. On the good side, you can use it to build your credit. On the bad side, it can really fuck up your credit. You know what I'm saying? I want to show something on here because we don't usually do this, and this is part of the reason that we moved to YouTube to be able to do shit like this, right? I'm gonna just do a quick share, right? Because I built this out. Can you guys see that? Yeah, this is something that when I started to learn about credit a little bit more, I seen somebody break it down. So I just wanted to break it down here on how someone's credit is actually broken down, right? So these are the factors of somebody's credit. And DG was talking about credit card utilization. Right. So these are the pieces that break down someone's credit score. If you add this up, these are the points that you can get from that credit, right? And this is how it's broken down. 35% of your credit is based off your payment history. So that's just making sure that you make the payment on time. You know what I mean? Even if it's just the minimum, you don't miss a payment. That's like the heaviest part of your credit, no matter what that is, or if it's card payment, credit card payment, any type of payment. The second thing is the 30% of your credit is what DG was just talking about, is that credit card utilization. And what that means is like, you know, if you have, you know, it's the utilization is how much of that credit card you're using. So if you know, like you said, if it's $1,000 and you use 800, you're using 80% of it. You want that to be under 10%, like he said. So if you have $1,000 limit, you only want to be using like 100 to still be in a good pocket. You know what I mean? So, on the positive note of that, if you do get more credit cards and you're keeping them all under, then the amount that you have to use is higher, and the amount that you're using is lower, which can raise your credit, right? The other pieces of the credit, they go down from here, is your credit age, and you can't do nothing about that but get older. You know what I'm saying? You can't speed that up. You can't speed that up. You know what I mean? It just, the longer you have credit, the better that's going to look. The other things is like hard inquiries, and then the different types of credit you got. So I just wanted to do like a visual picture, because, you know, or somebody could look at like what my credit. A lot of people don't know what their credit is made of. I didn't. And I seen somebody breaking it down one time, and I was just like, okay, so these are the most important pieces right here. And then the hard inquiries, that's just when you're, you know, applying for credit and stuff like that. A lot of times those things are only a couple points and they bounce right off. So that's, you know, that stuff doesn't really matter that big. So number one rule, just like Diamond said, man, keep the credit cards under 10% utilization. So I just wanted to throw that up there real quick, man, because, you know, that's a big part of what we're talking about with credit. And also just on a philosophical level, I want to break down credit real quick, because I had a conversation with my cousin one time, and he was just like, I hate how things are built off credit, right? Like I hate it. And I was just like, I do get it, because it's a weird game. It is a weird game. But I was just like, if you look at it like on a human level, credit is almost like somebody lets you borrow $20, and that person, did you pay him back or not? If you did pay him back, they telling everybody like, yo, he always pays it back. And if you didn't, they telling everybody like, yo, he ain't never paying it back. Don't let it. And I was just like breaking it down. Like, that's really what it is. It's like, you know, man, if you borrow something from somebody, do you give it back or not? And if you do all the time, then your credit's gonna be good. And if you don't all the time, your credit's gonna be horrible. And other people's gonna look, the credit score is people looking at it like, oh, you don't be paying that shit back. I ain't trying to give you no money. Or if I do, I'm gonna make sure that you have to pay me a lot of interest back, because I don't even trust you. So you know what I mean, you know. But then if you do be paying people back, like shit, you only got to pay me back a little bit. I'll let you hold a lot. You just pay me a little 5% interest or something. So when I broke it down to a human level, he was like, fam, I never thought about it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's a good way to articulate that, because at the end of the day, it's true. Because like, end of the day, a bank is not gonna. It makes sense why a bank might charge you higher percentage if you have bad credit, because like you're saying, that just shows you that you're somebody who don't pay your debt. That's the world we live in, right? Because you need to have some types of measure. Because then the bank doesn't know who you are as a person. They don't know how you do things. So we need to find metrics to be able to track each and every one of us. Okay, this person paid a debt on time. And we do the same thing in underwriting. If you have a group that has a higher utilization or always filing claim and all that, a person whose driving record is terrible, they always get in crash every year, it makes sense to charge that person a higher premium, because we're going to do some reckless shit that you, the insurance company, going to be liable. So it makes sense to give them a higher percent interest rate. So that person who been having like maybe 5 crashes a year compared to someone who never had any crash in the past 10 years. That person is a high risk. So that's the same way credit cards company look at you when your credit is bad. It's nothing about you personally, because they don't know you might be the dopest person. And sometimes things can happen that can mess up your credit that's out of your control. Those things happen, but they don't care.
Right.
You know, they got to protect themselves. So there's interest in all these measures that they're putting in place just to protect themselves. Because, like, you know what, if DG credit is 500, that just shows that he doesn't pay his debt on time. And if he's trying to borrow money from me, there's a possibility that he might default on this loan. So to make up for that, I have to charge him a higher interest rate so I can like recoup some of those payments just in case he come on some BS. You know, and that's what you see that a lot of the time. There are people who have been dead and then filed bankruptcy and all these other things, and then you have a collection agency calling people.
I feel like some bullshit too. Right.
So, like, it makes sense, but at the end of the day, it shouldn't be so hard, because it's more about discipline, in the sense that once you figure it out, once you can control your impulse and overall just learn about credit and just your finances overall, credit card doesn't seem like a burden anymore, because now you have that discipline to, you know, oh, this is actually, I can use this as a tool, like what I'm doing right now, you know, having 10 credit cards. Like, oh, just because I have it doesn't mean I need to go be buying things that I don't need. I'm being strategic about it, right? So I think it is a good thing to do, especially if you want to, like, I would say, build wealth and just have some other just things on the side for emergency, bro. So for me, that's what I'm doing right now. And, you know, like, you hear there are other people who are really on the extreme end when it comes to credit card, right? Like Dave Ramsey, you're like, oh, no, don't do it, don't touch it, get away from it. Right. And this is true for certain people, right? But there are certain people who shouldn't have credit cards.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, but if you realize that you have control over your finances, you make better decisions. You know, like Z was saying, if you want to use credit cards to get points and certain things that can benefit you, it's not all bad.
Yeah. And I want to go jump back into on that note. You segued it perfect into some of the benefits of using these cards, right? And a lot of times the biggest downfall we talk about on this is always going to be interest on credit cards, right? What we talked about is they charge you. We talked about this at the beginning of how a credit card works. They charge you at the end of whenever your date is, they charge you once a month on whatever the balance is. That's where they charge you your interest.
Right.
So technically, if you pay that balance off before the interest date, there's nothing to pay interest on. Right. So technically, you're not you don't necessarily have to pay any interest if you're paying that card off. And that's why DG was saying, if you do have the money to pay off the credit card, that's the best way to use the card, because then to connect what Z said, you're getting the points and you're getting the benefits of all these things that the credit card comes with, but you're not paying no interest. And some of the credit cards literally have cash back. So like you're making money. It's like you're making money off something that you're not paying interest on.
Right.
So some credit cards will just actually give you cash back, whether you could use that on places, that sends you a check, and that, just based on what you're doing, that could be 3% sometimes, up to 5%. I'm seeing, what I'm saying, on certain purchases and stuff like that. So that's one big perk, is if you're using a credit card, right, you might not ever have to pay interest, and you might just literally be getting cash back. Right. So that's one I want to throw in there. Z touched on it a little bit earlier. Talk about a 0% interest card, Z.
So different type, different cards. For instance, the one that I always recommend is Discover. Discover typically offers some type of 0% incentive. So that's if you're rolling over. But there's plenty of credit cards out there that offer 0% interest. Like if you're making a purchase of north of like $499, they have obviously like different parameters for them. But if you're making like a purchase more than like $500, like you get 6 months to pay off that balance. Or, if it's over $1,000, you might get 12 months, or if it's over like, $2,000, whatever the case may be. They all have different parameters. But the cool thing is, like I said, even if you have the money to pay it off immediately, that's just a way of like, utilizing. And maybe you just want to like save some money. Like right now, like I do have the $1,200 to pay for this right now, but like, maybe there's some other things that I want to focus on, like I'll pay this off, when I get my next bonus, 2 months from now, whatever the case may be. So the cool thing about that is, as long as you pay off the balance prior to your promotional period ending, then you won't pay any interest. Now, the downside of that is if you don't pay it before then, you will obviously be charged all of the interest that was accumulated during that period. So like if you were being charged interest for like 12 months, and let's say, there was like $600 worth of interest that accumulated over that time. If you miss that pay period, then obviously like you're going to be charged that. And then now you're going to obviously have to pay that interest either in full, or you're going to have to obviously just continue to pay it until you pay off your balance. So just like we said, like leveraging it to your advantage is always a good thing, especially if you're making like large purchases and stuff like that. If you don't want to necessarily come out of pocket all the way, like maybe you even if they give you like 12 months to pay it off, maybe just pay it off in like 3 months, right? Whatever the case is, right? Just to keep some of those rainy day funds, accessible and whatnot, but 0% interest is a game changer.
Absolutely. And also, one thing I want to add too, the credit card company love when you pay interest. They love that. They're happy.
That's how they survive.
That's how they get money. Because at the end of the day, if you were paying like what we were talking about, if you're paying your bills on time, they don't like that because they're not getting anything from that. But once you start paying interest on whatever debt, they're like, yes, I love this guy because he's giving us more money, because that's where they make more money from you, man. So because we all been there, right? Paying interest on car. We've done that before. I'll be alive to say I haven't paid interest on a card before. But those are the things that you can try to avoid. Just not buying things that you don't need. If you don't have the money, just wait till you have the money to do it. And nowadays we live in an instant gratification society. Everything I say, the fact that we have credit cards, so it just makes things easier. We don't have to think about, what? I need to save 3 months to be able to afford this trip. With credit cards now, most people just like swap and do things. It's easy. So I think that's one of the cons, bro, because it's so easy. People are just making more impulse purchase too. You don't have to think about it. Like, for example, if you didn't have a credit card, if you want to go on a trip that costs $3,000, you actually have to sit down and save that money. But with credit cards, we're making decision. Oh yeah, I can do this, and most of the time, like, I'll do it when I'll pay when I get back, right? And then you come back, you're not in a position to do that, and then you get hit with interest. So I feel like the fact that it's easy to just swipe and not, because nowadays you're not really thinking about it, it makes it a little bit harder for us to not be in debt because it's just right there. Like if I don't have the money, if I saw something nice, if I don't have that discipline, I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna use my credit card. I can pay it off. Even I have no idea how I'm gonna pay that shit up, but
Right.
I can just swipe that right away and think about it later. And I feel like just by
Mhm.
doing that, most often most people are in this trap. They're getting things that they cannot afford, and before we realize life happening, living paycheck to paycheck, before we realize those credit cards, and sometimes too, bro, I would say just the economy is hard, right? People
Yeah.
are not making a lot of money too, and sometimes not all those who are in credit card debt are the one who making impulse purchase on you know things that they don't need. There are people who actually use credit card to take care of themselves because they're not making enough money. So I understand that things are harder, right? But at the end of the day, the goal is to use it and not use it in the sense that it's going to accumulate um, interest, and you have to pay this interest on that.
Use it, don't abuse it, man.
That's
Yeah.
it.
I think that's a big
That's
thing.
it.
There's a rule I was thinking about that I kind of follow similar to DG. I think about it a little bit differently though. But DG hit the first part of the rule. I kind of move on credit cards is if you don't have the money to pay for it out of pocket, don't use it, right?
Right.
And I think that's a great rule. For most people, that you should just follow that rule alone, right? My thing is that's the first part of the rule for me. But the second part is if you are gonna use it and you don't have the money, make sure you're using it to make some more money, because that's where you can really win, right? So like if you're using something on credit that is designed to make you more money as opposed to just going out and
Bottle service.
getting bottle service and running it on the card, right? Or going to Cabo on the credit card and just running the credit card up with no idea of how to pay it back. If you you know what I'm saying, use the credit card and you ran ads on your business or something, or you know what I mean, if you use the credit card in, I don't know, if you're like I think I talked about this before, if you was let's say you was a videographer, right?
Right.
And you bought a camera on your credit card, but then you knew you was going to have a job that
Right.
was going to be able to pay you. You just needed this specific camera to do it, or this specific stuff. So you was like, okay, I'm gonna buy the card. I'm gonna buy the camera on the card. They're gonna pay me the money for the job that I just did. Then I'm gonna pay off the credit card. That all happened without me having to come out of pocket of my own thing.
Right.
Mhm.
But I'm on the side as if you are going to spend money that you don't have, then that should be something that is going to be helping you make more money.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
just wanted to throw that in there.
It's a gem.
But for y'all, man, let's leave them with some gems on the way out, man. What's some of y'all favorite credit cards and why?
It's a good question.
Favorite. Man, I just recently got this is it American Express card? Is it American Express Amex card?
Yeah.
I don't know, it's not my favorite yet though, but the credit limit is pretty dope. I love it so far.
Yeah.
They showed you some love, huh?
Yeah, Amex is pretty good. Like
It's just love, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a favorite, bro. To be honest, like I don't really have a favorite card. I just try to use whatever I can to just get points. And for me, like I say, most of my credit cards from like I have 3 with Chase, 1 with Wells Fargo, and all. So I just try to use whatever I can get the most points. And
Mhm.
lately, the one I've been using, the Amazon one, because I have one from
Yeah.
Chase and it's
Agreed.
Amazon card. And so whenever I purchase things, because I buy a lot of things, stuff from Amazon. So
Mhm.
whenever I do that, I get points and cash back.
Yeah.
So I do enjoy that, but I would just say my favorite. I don't know if I have a favorite one, bro. To be
Yeah.
honest, yeah.
Same. I don't think I have a favorite. I think I use them all in different situations for different reasons. Like DG said, I also have a Amazon card through Chase that I use pretty frequently. Just because I always shop on Amazon, like I'm always buying groceries on Amazon, whatever the case may be, since I don't have a car. But Amex, I do like Amex. Like my Amex card, I do like Amex. But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say I have a favorite. I do like
Ones that you would suggest too. Ones that what you would suggest too.
Amex for sure. Amex, as long as no, not even as long as I would just suggest Amex. any honestly, I wouldn't say, I don't think Amex offers a bad type of credit card. I think honestly all of their credit cards are good. I mean, if you're really concerned about like interest rates and stuff like that, you can always get a credit card with a credit union, a local credit union. Credit unions always offer the best interest rates. So if you're really concerned about that, get a credit card with a credit union. The only thing is, like, also most credit unions don't offer the same perks that a major company like an American Express or Discover would. So like, if you're just more concerned about the interest rate, you're going to get your lowest interest rate that you probably possibly can, but you're definitely not going to get the perks that come along with that. So
and really those companies that charge higher interest rates, that's how they're able to give you some of the perks. It's like, you know, they're able to give you cash back and these other perks that companies that they partner with and stuff like that. So that's a good point. I'm gonna drop my favorite 3 cards. This that I have personally. I've seen a lot of different ones that have different things, but the ones that I personally use that I like the most, my American Express Blue. That's one of my favorite. It's an American Express Blue miles card, and I like that one because I can get miles on it. You know, I like to travel, so I run that card up. I think I use that the most to get miles for purchases on flights and stuff like that. One thing I will say as the caveat to American Express, you said what?
You do have to pay an annual fee on that card.
No. So actually, the Amex Blue, you don't. No annual fee. It's no annual fee, and if you sign up for it, you get 12 months no interest. When from that's the introductory sign on, right? So that's why I initially got it, and I just end up like, okay, I can keep building miles on it, right? The one caveat I will say about Amex is, me and Z talked about this the other day. Sometimes they'll lower your limit out of nowhere.
Really?
They just can. They just can. You know what I mean? It's like, I remember I was running up my card one time. I had a plan to pay it off, but I was running it up because I was doing some things. And while I was running it up, let's say my limit was, I'm just gonna make some random numbers up. Let's say my limit was like 20,000 or something like that. Let's say I ran it up to like 17,000, and then they just lowered. Let's say ran it up to 15,000, but then they just lowered it to like 16. Oh, wow. But out of nowhere, I was like, I'm already at the top now. Like, it moved me to the top of the, you know what I mean? So I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I just got the blue too. I just got the blue and the gold. So I have both. I have 2. The gold charges annual fee.
Yep. So that gold one, yep, and that's something to note on the gold one. Some cards charge annual fees, and sometimes you look at them like, why would somebody be paying $300 or $600 for an annual fee? If you look at some of those perks, so sometimes depending on your lifestyle, they can make sense. You know what I mean? You know, if you're traveling a lot, if you're buying certain things, the perks that you get there can make sense, right? So for me, it's that Amex Blue one. I'm gonna say my Chase Ink card is another one that I really like. And then I'll probably go with I have an Amazon Amex too, but outside of that, I'll go with the Discover though. I'll go with the Discover, and I think I like that one a lot because it was a smooth balance transfer that I did. I think, and it gave me a long, like 18 months to pay it off or something. It was like a long period of time where I moved the balance from one of my cards over to that card, and then I had like 18 months with no interest. So Discover has great balance interest cards, or balance transfers cards. So,
and also, I know we're about to be done, but one thing I want to also say too is when it comes to credit card, if you're somebody who you're trying to figure it out, you're figuring out your financial journey, I would say just maybe with credit card, just try to do one at least. Don't do more than that because it can be a bit harder to like manage. I feel like the reason why I think I'm able to get like 10 credit card right now, because I think over the years I'm in a much better position financially than before. So it's easier to manage those cards and just keep track of everything. But imagine you're trying to someone who's starting out, you're trying to like save, you're trying to invest, and now you have to manage all these credit cards. It can be a lot of work trying to figure everything out because it's like you're juggling so many things, right? So that's my advice. Just like if you can just stay with one, it's okay. You don't just because we're talking about all these perks and different credit cards and me like, oh, I'm going to get American Express. I got to get this. I got to do that. You don't need to do all that.
You don't.
Get your ass home. Focus on one. Build that discipline before you can navigate and try to get other credit cards.
For sure. I was just gonna say, and to that point, do your research.
Yeah.
Don't just like willy-nilly just like get whatever credit card you can, like the first one you can think of. Just do your research. Like, I mean, all of them offer different types of perks, different incentives, different fees. You want to do your research into all of those things before you make a decision. So just make sure that you're being mindful of that.
And nowadays, I mean, you know, ChatGPT is so good. You can tell ChatGPT your situation and ask it, what do you think is the best types of credit cards for my situation? Because you know, it's different, right? Somebody just wants it for miles. Somebody wants it to pay low interest. Somebody you know, your goal is going to determine which credit card is the best one for you. So like we always say, this is not financial advice. We are not financial advisors. You know what I mean? This is for entertainment purposes only.
Right.
But these are some gems, and we're just speaking on from perspective of somebody that started running up that credit card, not knowing how to pay it off, to understand a little bit more what we got going on. So
right. I think everything just boils down to discipline, man. Just because you have it, it doesn't mean you just have to go and spend it, right? Like I said, use it. Like Ramon made a really good point. If you have credit card, use it as leverage, right? Those are the things you just want to have. It's not something that, you want to buy things every day that you don't need. You just got to put on credit card. It's good to have. You never know. For me, like I say, you never know when an opportunity might come, and then you might need certain cash to invest in that opportunity or business. Right. So for me, that's how I'm using that. I'm not trying to go and buy a Rolex right now because with my Amex, bro, like they gave me a 100K limit on my Amex to go one.
Oh, come
so
on.
I can buy a Rollie right now, right? I pay that shit. I'm like, what's the point of doing that? You know what I'm saying? It's not going to help me get to where I want to be. Like I see for us right now, we're trying to become wealthy. We're not trying to like flex and act like we got it now. So I think that's the mindset shift, right? You know, with us right now. But there are some people who like, damn, I got that credit card. I'm about to go ball out now.
I got 100,000.
I know some people personally who with 100K balance or spending limit would go nuts.
They'll fuck up some commas.
For real, bro.
Boy, man.
For me, it's like, how can I? That's a business. You know, if a good idea comes along for a business, if I don't have the cash right away, if I don't want to put all my savings into that, maybe I can use this as a leverage. So I'm just gonna hold on to it.
Hold on to it.
I'm not just gonna go and spend. But you know, credit card is not always bad, but most of the time it's just because we lack discipline. Those are most of the time. That's why we are in a lot of credit card debt, bro. And also, like I said, there's always some people that I mentioned earlier whose life is just a little bit harder for them, right? Yeah. So that's all they have to do. But for most people, I think we just don't want to learn how to delay gratification.
Yeah,
it's easy. So we just put things on credit card, and then we realize that, damn, why am I not saving? Why am I not investing? Because you're paying $1,500 every month on interest.
Right.
That's the reason why.
Something that I wanted to recommend too is like for people who are focused on building their credit and maybe you don't have access to like the best credit card products. Something that you can look into is becoming an authorized user on somebody else's card. That's a way that you can potentially build your credit, is piggybacking essentially off of somebody else's credit. There's obviously like a lot of parameters and things like that go into it. It's not like you're an authorized user and you can just go crazy with like DG's 100K, you know, like there's certain parameters and whatnot. And, you know, it's just, you typically probably want to do it with like a family member or somebody that you like really trust, you know, right? But that's something that people can look into. You know, I just wanted to give people kind of like a gem of like, sometimes we all don't have 700-800 credit scores, you know, right? And like, so, you know, if you don't find yourself in that particular situation, there's ways to get there.
No, that's
on that same note too, you can get on somebody's credit as an authorized user and not have a card for it.
Right.
So if someone does it, it's really, it might be no risk for somebody to do it. If it's somebody close to you, they can add you on a card that has a high limit and a low balance on there, but then you don't have a card to it. So it's not like you could run it up, but it helps your credit. I've seen that happen with some family members on my side too.
You know, because I'm an authorized user, and it sent my buddy the card, and I didn't give it to him. I told him I'm not giving you this card, bro.
It's gonna help you, but it ain't for you.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. I was like, I'm not gonna give it to you, though. I'm gonna rip this card apart, but.
DG, as a matter of fact, go ahead and add me as an authorized user to that Amex, boy.
Matter of fact, give me the gold. Give me the gold, but I need the card.
Go ahead, give me that gold access, baby. I don't even need a card. Just go ahead, add your boy.
That's cards for once a great opportunity to present itself that I need it for. with the new business, that's like, hey man, might as well. You never know. I might need something that I don't have to cash right away.
Yeah.
And I can just use that for and pay it up, bro. Like I said, my goal right now, like our goal right now is to build wealth, bro. So I think we think about creating all these things a little different. Like maybe 8 years ago, if you would like give me 100K, maybe I might want to fuck around, got me a little Rolex and then pay that shit off.
But right now,
I don't need that. I'm good. I got the Versace. Yeah. It's okay.
and just to make it practical for somebody too is, we're talking about some like big opportunities. They could be small too. Like if you have $1,000 credit card or something, you might could go buy a weed whacker and then walk around to everybody in your neighborhood and be like, you want me to get those weeds in the back? I'll charge you $25. I'll charge you $50 to get them or something, like, you know what I mean? Like that's how you use a card as a financial vehicle, is buy something that can make you money. You get that weed whacker, you go, when they give you the $50, put it on the credit card.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Somebody's gonna bite for that. Somebody don't want. Matter of fact, if somebody's watching this and you do weeds right now, I need you. Come holler at me, man. I need you bad, man. Come holler at me. Nah, man. But I'm gonna leave. We could probably leave on this note. I know we wanted to wrap around this part. I want to leave with a quote that my homeboy Kills actually dropped in our chat this morning. DG.
Yeah.
He said, one quote I remember hearing is, debt is borrowing from your future self. We have to ask, is it fair to borrow at the expense of your future labor? Right. So that's just something to think about. It's like when you rack on debt, know that your future self is going to have to pay it back. So asking, I just really thought that was a cool way to think of it. Is like, is it fair to be like, me in the future has to pay off what I'm doing right now? Is that fair to that future person that you're gonna be?
Is it really clean though? Is it really clean?
Is it really clean? You know what I mean? But like really, like it's always easier,
right,
to pay it off before you do something than pay it off after.
Right.
Because for sure you made a plan before. If you saved up the money, you made a plan for that money. When you spend it and you plan on paying in the future, you didn't even make the plan yet. You just like, I'm gonna figure it out then. So just something to think about, man. I thought that was a good quote to end on.
Yeah. Shout out to Kills.
Shout out to Kills. Y'all got anything to any last gems to drop or?
No, not really. Just choose wisely.
Yeah, man. My gem is just like stay out of debt, bro. Because especially if you're somebody who want to like build wealth and get ahead, stay out of debt. It's not worth it. Delay gratification. There's
good debt to have. Credit cards is not one of them. So
I agree.
Fair.
Yeah.
Don't carry that balance, man. But we want to say we thank everybody who continues to tap in. I see Marco in the comments on YouTube, man. Shout out to Marco if you're still on here. Everybody who continues to watch, share the videos. We appreciate everybody who always taps in, man. It's always love.
Absolutely. We'll be back next week. Please subscribe to the channel, guys. We appreciate that.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right, fellas.
All right, fellas. Yes,
sir.